Sometimes, you look back at a moment, a conversation, a seemingly small decision, and you realize it was the precise point where everything fractured. Not just a little crack, but a deep, irreparable break that reshaped your entire world. For me, that moment was when I understood, really understood, that the person I had loved and trusted more than anyone else in the world had woven an elaborate, painstaking lie for months, a lie that engulfed not just her own life, but mine too. And the hardest part? It was a lie about a baby that never existed. I still remember the knot in my stomach the day I finally pushed open Sarah's bedroom door. Her face was streaked with tears, her body hunched on the bed in an oversized hoodie. But it wasn't her sadness that stopped me dead. It was the thing on her dresser. Flesh-colored, deflated, artificial. A prosthetic pregnancy belly. My brain just couldn't compute. "What the hell is that?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. She looked at me, then at the deflated silicone, then back to my eyes, raw and wet. "I can explain," she said. Explain what, Sarah? "Where's your baby?" And then, the words that hit me like a physical blow, "There is no baby." It felt like the air left the room. "What do you mean there's no baby?" Her voice cracked. "I mean, I was never pregnant. I've been wearing that thing for 7 months. 7 months. 7 months of shared excitement, of planning, of dreams. 7 months of her looking me in the eye and lying, every single day." My mind raced. The baby shower. The nursery. The doctor appointments. The ultrasound pictures. All of it. All of it had been a performance. It's hard to reconcile the person you think you know with the person who could orchestrate such a profound deception. Sarah. My Sarah. My best friend since our freshman year at college in Portland, Oregon. We were roommates in the absolute worst dorm on campus, two complete opposites who somehow just fit. She was organized, thoughtful, an early riser who ran miles before class. I was chaotic, impulsive, and considered noon an early start. But we worked. She kept me grounded, I pushed her to take risks. She remembered my deadlines, I made her laugh until she snorted. After college, we both ended up staying in Portland, apartments just 10 minutes apart. Our lives were a comfortable rhythm of Sunday brunch at Ruby's Diner, Wednesday night yoga, mostly gossip sessions, and Friday movie nights with takeout. When Sarah met Michael at my cousin's wedding 3 years ago, I knew instantly they were meant to be. He was steady where she was anxious, funny where she was serious. He made her laugh at herself, she made him want to be better. I was her maid of honor, saw the pure joy in her eyes when she said her vows, talked about building a life and a family. So, when she called me on my lunch break 8 months ago, her voice trembling with excitement, I was ready. "I need to tell you something," she'd said, and I'd put down my sandwich immediately. "Good something or bad something? Great something? Life-changing something?" I'd teased, already bracing myself for whatever dramatic announcement was coming. "Okay, I'm sitting down." "Hit me." "We're pregnant." I actually screamed right there in the office break room. Betty from accounting dropped her yogurt. "Are you serious, Sarah? Are you kidding me right now?" 2 tests, both positive. "We're having a baby, Lena." I started crying immediately. The good kind of tears, the kind that make your chest feel like it might burst from happiness. Sarah and Michael had been trying for almost a year, and every month she'd called me, disappointed, wondering if something was wrong. "Oh my God, Sarah, I'm so happy for you. I can't even think straight, I know. I keep staring at the test, thinking it's going to disappear or something." "When are you due?" "Sometime in April, I think. I have a doctor's appointment next week to get everything confirmed, This is the best news ever." "Michael must be losing his mind with excitement, He cried," she'd said, and I could hear the smile in her voice. Like, actually sobbed. It was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. That was the beginning. I threw myself into being the best friend and future godmother possible. I researched everything: prenatal vitamins, baby-proofing, car seats. I bought her books, comfortable clothes, special pillows. When she started showing, we spent hours shopping for maternity clothes. "You're glowing," I'd told her in the dressing room at Walmart, and I'd meant it. She looked radiant, her hand resting protectively on her growing belly. "I feel like a whale," she'd said, turning sideways. "You feel like a woman creating life," I'd corrected. "There's nothing more beautiful than that." We painted the nursery together, soft yellow walls because they were waiting to find out the gender. "I want them to feel safe here," she'd said. "They will," I'd promised. "This baby is going to be so loved." The baby shower was my masterpiece. I'd spent weeks planning every detail: hand-painted invitations, cupcake baby bottles, fun games. 35 people came, bearing gifts and advice. Sarah, radiant in a flowing blue dress, accepted their excitement. "You're going to be an amazing mother," I told her, hugging her pregnant belly. "You're patient and kind and nurturing. You've been practicing for this your whole life." She smiled, but looking back now, there was something sad in her eyes that I'd missed. The first red flag, if I'd been paying closer attention, should have been the sonogram pictures. Sarah documented everything, but over 8 months, she only showed me 2 ultrasound photos. "The machine was broken," she'd explained. "Dr. Henderson said we'd get better ones next time." But there never was a next time. Every appointment had an excuse: equipment down, baby not positioned right, technician running behind. "Can't you just ask them to print extras?" I'd suggested. "They're really strict about it," she'd said quickly, something about privacy. She never asked again. Then there was her belly. Most pregnant women can't keep their hands off their bumps. Sarah was the opposite. Hands at her sides, loose clothing, changing the subject if anyone tried to feel for kicks. "She's just private about it," I'd told Michael's sister when she complained. "Some women are like that, I guess," his sister had conceded, but she looked confused. "It's just weird. The baby was like a celebrity when I was pregnant." I defended Sarah then, but the comment stuck. It was weird. Everything about her pregnancy felt muted, like she was going through the motions. Her doctor appointments too. I went to the first one, saw the magical flicker of a heartbeat. But as the months went on, she stopped mentioning them until after they happened. "How did it go today?" I'd ask. "Fine," she'd say. "Everything's normal." No details. No stories. Just vague, rehearsed answers. She never complained about heartburn or swollen feet or trouble sleeping. "You're so lucky," I told her once. "You're having the easiest pregnancy ever." "I guess I'm just built for this," she'd said, but her voice sounded off. The baby shower, my masterpiece, was when things really felt strange. Sarah was tense, like she was performing. She opened every gift with the right enthusiasm, said the right things, posed for pictures with her hands on her belly. But it was mechanical. "Are you okay?" I'd whispered. "You seem stressed." "I'm fine," she'd insisted, but she was sweating despite the air conditioning. Later, as we cleaned up, she'd apologized. "I get anxious when I'm the center of attention." "You weren't weird," I'd lied. "You were glowing," but she hadn't been. She'd been fidgeting, avoiding eye contact. Looking back, she'd acted like someone with something to hide. The weirdest part was when Michael's mom tried to feel the baby kick. Sarah practically recoiled, claiming the baby was sleeping. When she hit 35 weeks, I'd suggested we discuss birth plans and hospital bags. "There's time for that," she'd said. "I don't want to jinx anything." Jinx what, Sarah? "You're almost at full term," she deflected every time. No hospital tour. No packed bag. That wasn't like Sarah. She planned everything. But I trusted her. I told myself everyone handled pregnancy differently. I was being too nosy. I should respect her boundaries. I had been so focused on being supportive that I'd forgotten to be observant. Monday morning, I called in sick. That little voice in my head, the one I'd ignored for months, was screaming. I called Dr. Henderson's office. "I'm sorry," the receptionist said, "but we don't show any record of Sarah Miller as a current patient." My stomach dropped. I called 4 other Dr. Hendersons in Portland. None had her as a patient. Sarah had been lying about having a doctor. If she wasn't seeing a doctor, then she wasn't pregnant. But that was impossible. I'd seen her belly grow. Unless. I opened my laptop and started researching fake pregnancy bellies. What I found made me physically ill. Dozens of websites selling silicone bumps. Images of unbelievably realistic prosthetics. Reviews from women saying they looked so convincing, even their closest friends believed it. I slammed the laptop shut. This was Sarah. My Sarah. The woman who'd held me after my last breakup, driven me to the ER when I broke my wrist. But the evidence was piling up. Her car was in the driveway when I drove to her house. No one answered my knock. I walked around back. The sliding door was open, and I heard her voice. I know, she was saying. "I can't keep this up much longer. Everyone's asking questions. Michael's getting suspicious, too." I pressed myself against the side of the house. No, I can't tell him the truth. He'd leave me. Everyone would leave me. There was a pause. I wanted it so badly. And when Lena got so excited, I couldn't bear to disappoint her. She's been the perfect friend through all of this. She's going to hate me when she finds out. My heart hammered. She was talking about me. I stumbled back to my car, reeling. A phone conversation wasn't enough. I needed proof. Back home, I scoured her social media. Every bump photo, she wore loose clothing, her arms strategically placed. Not a single clear shot of her bare belly. The baby shower photos, she looked stiff, performing. Then, a photo stopped me cold. Taken from the side as she bent to pick up wrapping paper. Her shirt had ridden up. A clear line. A seam. The edge of a prosthetic. I zoomed in. Oh my God, then I searched her emails. One from 3 months ago. She'd forwarded me a funny article about pregnancy cravings. But when I looked closer, I saw she'd originally received it as part of a pregnancy newsletter. I clicked the source. It was from a website about fake pregnancies. The article was titled, "Maintaining Your Fake Pregnancy, Common Symptoms to Mention." She'd forwarded me an article from a website about faking pregnancies. I felt sick. How much research had she done? Then, another email. A shipping confirmation from 6 months ago. Your order has shipped. I opened it. It was for a premium silicone pregnancy prosthetic, stage 2, for 6 months, from a theatrical supply company. She'd ordered it. She'd literally ordered a fake pregnancy belly online and had it shipped to her house. My world crumbled. This wasn't a desperate woman making a mistake. This was someone who had planned, researched, and executed an elaborate deception. For 8 months, she'd lied to everyone. To me. To Michael. To her family. And worst of all, she'd made me complicit. Every time I'd vouched for her, made excuses, helped her maintain the fiction, I'd been helping her deceive everyone we cared about. I printed the shipping confirmation, took screenshots of the social media photo, saved the email about fake symptoms. I had my proof. When I pulled into her driveway Tuesday morning, Michael's car was there. I could see them sitting on the couch. He looked upset. I knocked. Sarah answered, still in the oversized hoodie. "Lena, hi." This isn't a good time. I think it's the perfect time, I said, pushing past her into the living room. Michael looked up, his eyes red. Lena, thank God, he said, standing. Maybe you can help me understand. Sarah keeps saying the baby's fine, but there's no proof. And now she's saying we can't tell anyone about the birth because of some medical privacy thing. I looked at Sarah. She was staring at the floor. Sarah, I said quietly, I think we need to talk. I told you this isn't a good time. It's exactly the right time. I pulled the shipping confirmation from my purse. Because Michael deserves to know the truth, just like I deserve to know the truth. Sarah's face went white. What is that? Michael asked. It's a receipt, I said, handing it to him, for a silicone pregnancy prosthetic that your wife ordered 6 months ago. Michael stared at the paper. Sarah, he said finally, what is this? I can explain, she whispered. Explain what? His voice was getting louder. Explain why you bought a fake pregnancy belly? Explain why you've been lying to me for months. It's not what you think. Then what is it? I pulled out my phone and showed him the screenshot from her baby shower. Because this is a photo from your baby shower, and you can clearly see the edge of a prosthetic under your shirt. Michael looked at the photo, then at Sarah, then back at the photo. Oh my God. Sarah, are you telling me you faked an entire pregnancy? Sarah started crying, but still didn't answer. Where's the baby, Sarah? Michael's voice cracked. Where is our baby? There is no baby, I said when Sarah remained silent. There never was a baby. She's been wearing a fake belly for 8 months. Michael sat down hard, like his legs had given out. This can't be real. This can't be happening. I wanted to tell you, Sarah said through her tears. I tried to tell you so many times, but I didn't know how. How about with the truth? Michael's voice was cold now. How about by saying, hey, Michael, I'm not actually pregnant. I've been lying to you for almost a year. I was scared you'd leave me. Leave you? Sarah, we've been married for 3 years. Why would you think I'd leave you over? Something like infertility? Because everyone leaves, she sobbed. Everyone always leaves when things get hard. I sat down, my anger mixing with pity. Sarah, who told you that? Who made you believe that people would abandon you if you couldn't have kids? Nobody had to tell me. I just knew. Look at how obsessed everyone gets with babies and families. And you were so excited when I told you we were trying. And then when it didn't happen month after month, I could see the disappointment in your eyes. The disappointment was for you, I said. Because I knew how much you wanted it, not because I thought less of you, but it would have happened eventually. You would have gotten tired of being around someone who couldn't give you what you had, someone who was broken. Sarah, that's not true, Michael said. That's not who we are. That's not who Lena is, isn't it, though? Sarah looked up at both of us. Be honest. If I had told you last year that we'd been trying for a year with no success, that the doctors thought it might never happen naturally, would you really have stuck around? Would you really have been okay with being married to someone who might never give you kids? Michael was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was gentle. Sarah, we never even talked about kids being a deal breaker. We talked about wanting them, yes, but we also talked about adoption, about other options, about being okay if it was just us, but you wanted biological kids. You wanted to experience pregnancy and birth and all of that. I wanted those things with you, he said. But I wanted you more. I married you, not your reproductive system. Sarah was sobbing now, ugly, guttural cries that shook her whole body. I know that now, she said. I know how ridiculous this all was. But once I started the lie, I didn't know how to stop. Every day, it got bigger and more complicated, and I kept thinking I'd figure out a way to fix it, or maybe I'd actually get pregnant for real, and it wouldn't matter. So, you just decided to fake it for 9 months instead? I couldn't keep the hurt out of my voice. Asterisk, you let me plan a baby shower for a baby that didn't exist. You let me buy gifts and get excited and tell everyone how proud I was of you. Asterisk, I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Asterisk, sorry doesn't fix this, Sarah. Do you have any idea how humiliated I'm going to be when people find out? Do you know what this does to my credibility, to my trust, and my own judgment? Asterisk, I never meant for it to hurt you. Asterisk, but it did hurt me. It hurt me, and it hurt Michael, and it's going to hurt everyone who cared about you and believed in you. Asterisk, Michael stood up, pacing. Asterisk, I can't wrap my head around this. The doctor appointments, the ultrasounds, the morning sickness, all of it was fake. Asterisk, I researched everything, Sarah said quietly. I found websites that explained what pregnancy was supposed to feel like. I made up stories. The ultrasound photos came from online. And the belly. I started with padding, but it looked fake, so I bought the prosthetic. It was expensive, but it looked real. Jesus, Michael stopped pacing and stared at her. Asterisk, do you hear yourself? You researched how to fake a pregnancy. You bought professional props. You planned this. Asterisk, I didn't plan it. It just happened and then it spiraled. No, I said. Asterisk, you don't accidentally research fake pregnancies and order prosthetics. You don't accidentally maintain a lie for 8 months. This was a choice you made every single day. Asterisk, Sarah looked at me with red, swollen eyes. I know you hate me now. I don't hate you, I said. And I meant it. But I don't trust you, and I don't know if I ever will again. What happens now? Michael asked. How do we even begin to clean this up? We tell the truth, I said. We tell everyone the truth, and we deal with the consequences. Everyone's going to ask questions, Sarah said. They're going to want to know why I did it, and I don't have a good answer. You tell them you were struggling with infertility and made a terrible mistake, Michael said. You tell them you're getting help and you're sorry for lying. What about the gifts from the baby shower? We return what we can and donate the rest, I said. Asterisk, and you apologize to everyone personally. Every single person who came to that shower deserves to hear from you directly. Asterisk, Sarah nodded, tears still streaming. And you get therapy, Michael added. Asterisk, serious therapy, because this level of deception isn't normal, Sarah. This isn't just being embarrassed about infertility. This is something deeper. Asterisk, will you stay? She asked him. Will you stay with me while I figure this out? Michael was quiet for a long time. I don't know, he said finally. Asterisk, I need time to process this. I need to understand how the person I married could lie to me about something this big for this long. I understand. Asterisk, do you? He asked. Asterisk, because I'm not sure you do. I'm not sure you understand that trust isn't something you can just apologize your way back to. It's something you have to rebuild. One honest conversation at a time. Asterisk, Sarah looked at both of us. Will you help me? Will you help me figure out how to fix this? I thought about it. Part of me wanted to walk away, to protect myself from any more of her chaos. But another part of me remembered the woman who'd been my best friend for 8 years, who'd supported me through my own mistakes and failures. I'll help you tell people the truth, I said. Asterisk, but that's all I can promise right now. The rest is up to you. Asterisk, 6 months later, Sarah and I meet for coffee every other Wednesday. It's not the same as it was. We're more careful with each other now, more aware of the unspoken spaces between what we say and what we mean. She's in therapy twice a week. They've diagnosed her with anxiety and depression that apparently started long before the fake pregnancy. Her therapist says the lie was Sarah's way of trying to control a situation that felt utterly out of her control. But that doesn't excuse the choice she made to deceive everyone who loved her. Michael moved out for 3 months but came back after Sarah started making real progress in counseling. They're in couples therapy now, slowly, painstakingly, working on rebuilding trust and communication. Most of our mutual friends know the truth. Sarah told them herself. Some were understanding. Others felt betrayed and haven't spoken to her since. The fallout was brutal, but she handled it with more grace than I expected. The hardest part for me wasn't the embarrassment or the lost trust. It was realizing that my best friend had been in so much pain that she thought lying was easier than being vulnerable. It made me question whether I'd been as good a friend as I thought I was, whether I'd created an environment where she felt she couldn't tell me hard truths. We're rebuilding our friendship on different terms now, more honesty even when it's uncomfortable, better boundaries even when it feels awkward, and a shared understanding that trust, once broken, requires patience and consistency to repair. Sarah still struggles with the shame of what she did, but she's learning to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of escaping them through elaborate deceptions. It's messy work, but it's honest work. And honestly, despite everything, I'm glad we're still in each other's lives. Because the Sarah who lied to me for 8 months is the same Sarah who drove 4 hours to my grandmother's funeral and held my hair back when I was sick. People are complicated, and friendship, real friendship, means loving someone enough to help them face their worst impulses and grow past them. It's not the friendship we had before, but it might be better, because now it's built on truth instead of the stories we told ourselves about who we were supposed to be. What does it really mean to trust someone after they've shattered your faith so completely?